Thank you, and welcome back to our session with Dr. Andrew Ma on AI. And so we're happy to have you back. We're going to kick things off. You can learn about Dr. Ma. He's just super inspiring, and with his expertise in AI, micro-learning implementation, and really showing the pros, the cons, and the risk associated. So without further ado, it's all yours, Andrew. And for
Hello.
those joining, we are in session 4 in
Yes.
the experience.
Good afternoon. I assume we are all in the same time zone, so I guess this is good afternoon. And happy Mid-Autumn Festival for those who celebrate that festival. I'm in Hong Kong. I'm very glad to be here. We have 45 minutes to explore a topic that's dear in my heart. Every day I'm trying to learn new things. Although I've been in the high-tech industry since 1994. Now I'm exposing my my age. I was actually in the high-tech industry. My first project was in Ottawa, very cold place. And my first job was to crank 1,000 modems into a server and sell to companies like Singtel, Hong Kong Telecom for internet access. So I witnessed firsthand the birth of Web 1.0, where people use computer to go online and things like that. Anybody still remember before you can go online? Daniel knocking in your head. Okay, but Eleanor, the Gen Z say, oh, what are you talking about? Right? So I think the Gen Z, like Eleanor, they are so used to the Web 2.0 way of doing training, of doing online is through the cell phone. Okay, so I also part of it, the Web 2.0 evolution about 15, 20 years ago. And we have the social media, Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But right now, I'm really excited that we are now into the Web 3.0 era, and AI is one of the key technology that are revolutionizing all the different businesses, including training, learning, development, and education. So in the past few years, I've been consulting different companies to help them to learn about AI and to use new paradigm to do leadership training, soft skill training, and things like that. So here I'm going to share a little bit of what I learned so far, and it's still learning. So first of all, I want to just share the screen first. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you see my share screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, great. So this is my first time doing Zoom and Gnowbe together. So although I'm a techie guy, I still maybe not as used to. But first of all, I want to demonstrate a few things that we've been doing. So first of all, if you notice, this is an AI glasses. Okay. So literally AI is in your face. I'm demonstrating. This is a Ray-Ban Meta glass. So I can say something like that. Hey, Meta, take a video. Okay, you see the light turn on, and I'm doing a recording of video right now. Okay, and I can immediately post the picture or the video and link. So Internet already saw me. I just during Daniel's session, I do this and immediately post to my LinkedIn immediately. Okay, and this also opened up a lot of new doors. I was demonstrating this to a lot of banks and the management and also property developers, facility management. They see this as the new learning paradigm. Maybe Gnowbe one day can be accessed through glasses like this. And when they are doing the job, for example, interfacing with the customer, like a teller, bank teller, okay, the glasses can see what they are seeing, the customer, and they can hear what they can hear, the conversation. And the just-in-time training is that they can say, okay, now calm down. Okay, now please take a deep breath. Okay, now please say something like this to calm the emotion of an angry customer. Okay, or when the frontline fail to handle that customer, maybe the alarm will already send to the supervisor at the back who is playing Candy Crush. Okay, and they have to put down the Candy Crush and come to rescue the frontline teller. Okay, so the technology is already in place for AI real-time assisting the on the job while they learn and they practice. Okay, before you still need to go through the micro learning and then do the real work. Now the real work can be maybe in future time, in the very near future, the AI assistants can give you the right learning and instruction to help you to solve real-time problems. Okay, so of course the technology there still needs things to tweak, but essentially all the hardware and the software are marching towards that type of just-in-time training in the future, in the very near future. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to share with you is so this is a video. Okay, let me share the screen again. Okay, so I did a training to a top Singaporean bank, the learning day to the global employees about 3 weeks ago. So they have Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysian, and mainland China employee attending that. I don't speak all the language, okay, but this is the video that I make. Okay.
Asian enterprises are facing unprecedented market changes.
Can you hear?
The only way for leaders to navigate the changes is to foster innovations in the organizations. 喺呢個1小時嘅研討會中，我將透過互動活動同案例研究嚟介紹新嘅創新範式。Melalui kajian case dan aktiviti interaktif, saya akan menekankan kepentingan inovasi yang menggabungkan pemikiran AI yang berpusatkan data serta pemikiran reka bentuk yang berpusatkan manusia. 我将重点介绍一些在香港和新加坡的公司，他们在企业文化中路线将人工智能思维和设计思维结合起来。
By the way, this is not real Andrew Ma. This is an AI avatar that I created in 15 minutes for this seminar. I can speak fluent languages in English, Cantonese, Mandarin, Malaysian just by a few clicks. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, I can also try to use the Singaporean accent that I never master but I can just do it by using ChatGPT, generating a script, using tools like HeyGen to basically use my avatar that can use my own voice to speak any language at any time in the micro-learning or in the Zoom sessions like that. Okay, so the AI is readily available for technology for us to do something like that. Okay, another one I want to show. This is really latest. I'm trying it right now, but because it is just brand new. Okay, so this is the ChatGPT 1.0. If you heard the news, it just rolled out 4 days ago. Okay, I've been trying to test it, and so far it's been amazing. So one of the use case I'm showing you here now.
Technology behind models like ChatGPT, and when you give a sentence to ChatGPT, it has to understand the relationship between the words and so on. So it's a sequence of words, and you have to model that. And transformers utilize what's called a self-attention to model that. So I always thought, okay, if I can visualize the self-attention mechanism, and with some.
Oh, by the way, this is a instructor teaching AI, teaching what is transformer networks, GPT, the transformer networks, and he is trying to find a way to illustrate that. Okay.
components to it, it will be really great. I just don't have the skills to do that. So let's ask our new model, O1 Preview, to help me out on that. So I just typed in this command and see how the model does. So unlike the previous models like GPT-4o, it will think before outputting an answer. So it started thinking. As it's thinking, let me show you what are some of these requirements. I'm giving a bunch of requirements to think through. So first one is like, use an example sentence, the quick brown fox. And second one is like, when hovering over a token, visualize the edges whose thicknesses are proportional to the attention score. And that means just if the two words are more relevant, then have a thicker edges and so on. So the one common failure in most of the existing models is that when you give a lot of the instructions to follow, it can miss one of them. Just like humans can miss one of them if you give too many of them at once. So because this reasoning model can think very slowly and carefully, it can go through each requirement in depth, and that reduces the chance of missing the instruction. So this output code, let me copy paste this into a terminal. So I'm going to use the editor of 2024. So Vim HTML. So I'm just going to paste this thing into that and just save it out. And on the browser, I'll just try to open this up. And you can see that when I hover over this thing, it shows the arrows, and then quick and brown and so on. And when I hover out of it, it goes away. So that's correct.
So when I saw that, because I'm currently working for a bank to create the micro learning or generative AI in banking industry, I will immediately use this tool to generate animation in one of the actions in the Gnowbe, so for them to use. So right now, instructors, even without any programming language, can ask ChatGPT 01 to do programming, interactive programming, and embed into the micro-learning actions. Okay, so this is, when I saw that, this is very exciting. I will be trying that personally, but so far, in the past few days, when I tried, it shows a lot of promise. Okay, another one. This is also by, just launched by Google. It's a notebook LM. Okay, what it does is that
were a lot worse.
It can have any web page or any document, turn that into a podcast, and with two people talking, okay, and then you can
present it in a funny and entertaining way, and just listen to it in your car or while you're working out. This could be huge.
And then you can
now, of course,
put it into a video.
Can be a problem. I've been working with a fairly reliable product
so
present to you.
Let's go. Okay.
They inform you about
so the
Here's
result is
the
something like that.
A project out of Tencent that can create video game worlds. Open can do. So I took that audio podcast quality, very pleasing podcast.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes.
Game data.
The result
What
is something
exactly
like
are we
that.
dealing with here?
So imagine you want to teach
This
an
is all AI
say,
avatar.
painting. You probably
And
wouldn't
it's
just show it
generated
stick
by a
figures,
web
right?
page,
You'd want to give it the masterpieces,
and then
the classics,
it can
the
generate
entire history of art.
two
Well,
people
that's kind of what
speaking.
OGame data is.
It's like the AI's art school.
Exactly. A massive collection of something like 150 games across genres and styles, all feeding into this AI, helping it understand what makes a game world actually work.
So this AI is basically mainlining
All
the
this
entire history
avatar
of video
are
games.
AI
Yeah.
avatar.
But what happens next? How do we go from this mountain of data to, actually playing something?
Right. So the AI goes through a two-stage training process. First, it focuses on...
So all this with the notebook LM, with programs like HeyGen, you can extract any website, any peer review journal. It will just change it to a two avatar speaking, and then it can generate the video, putting that into HeyGen or something like that. So this can be done in half an hour. Okay. So all this technology are in your fingertips to accelerate the content creation process. Okay. So let's do a vote. Okay. How much generative AI tools are you currently using in your L&D education program creation? So just do a vote. Okay. So, okay. So preset, not at the moment. So something is 10 to 20%. I think Daniel using over 80% now. Okay, I'm personally is using more than 80% in our program content generation, both in live training and micro-learning creation process. Okay, great. Okay, all right. So many of you are still at the earlier stage, but even though I'm from IT background. I study engineering. When I study engineering, I didn't study any AI at all. So it's just having a growth mindset to learn and to continuously practice. And as what Daniel said, fail and try again. That's the whole process of being an AI assisting AI-powered curator in today's world. Okay, great. All right, so let's have another question. What do you think? There are, I think, a few camps of L&D professionals. Some are saying the AI chatbot is going to be the mainstream for learning anything. Like Socrates, you just have a dialogue, and then you can learn any subject. Okay, without a structured curriculum. Okay, that's one camp. The other camp was saying that no, even though you have that dialogue and things like that, the AI as a coach, but you still need a curriculum, a structured curriculum to go through the essential. So that's two camps, but of course there are camps in between the two. I'm just curious to know the statistics here. Okay, all right, interesting. So most of the people are saying can augment structured curriculum-based learning. Okay, that's the number one. And some are saying that will eventually replace structured curriculum in 1 to 3 years. Okay, that's the number two. I personally cannot predict the future. Okay, I currently do not predict the future. But my current stand is let's do it one step at a time. Okay. I'm currently using the AI as augmenting a structured curriculum, and it has getting some feedback. Part of it is that the AI technology is still not 100% mature. It can hallucinate. It sometimes may not give you the correct answer, and sometimes it is still responding in a very general way. If the trainer has some secret sauce, okay, in a certain topic, then still need the human instructor to create curriculum and use the AI to assist. Of course, later on you can still use technology like rack, so you can rack your secret sauce into your chatbot, but that technology is still a little bit cumbersome and things like that. But I still at this point believe in what majority people see here. The chatbot-based learning can augment a structured curriculum, at least in the next 1, 2, 3 years. Okay, 5 years beyond, I don't know. But I think we can all learn to be a competent trainer to wisely use the AI chatbot to augment or supplement a structure-based program. Okay, that at least is my current stand. Okay, which is agreeing with most of the people here. Okay, so let's see an interesting question. Do you think generative AI has creativity? Okay, or only human has creativity? Let's do a polling and see your response. Okay, interesting. Okay, so most of the people say have some level of creativity. Okay, but some also say comparable level of creativity. Interesting. Okay, so one of the exercise, I'm really big in experiential learning. Okay, and in our program, we usually do this little exercise to understand deeper about this question. Okay, so can you all have your cell phone out? Okay, can you scan this QR code? Okay, this QR code is a okay. This QR code, that's bigger. Okay, so does your cell phone will see some screen like this, right? Everybody got this, right? It's a tool that you can draw and you can prompt to create a picture. Okay, I think many of you have tried the Midjourney or others, Stable Diffusion. This is actually based on Stable Diffusion, but you add in the scribble part of it. Okay, so let's try. So this is what I just did. Okay, think about a vacation spot that you want to go. I heard So Young, you're going to Korea next week, right? So you can think about the Mingdong shopping area or area. Okay, and you can just draw, and then you can also prompt. In this case, I prompted the Great Wall, Monet style, and should be 20 seconds on your phone. It can generate a picture like this. Okay, all right. So I'll give you another example. So I didn't go to the Olympic Paris last month, but I wish I was there. So I used this Paris Eiffel Tower, summer blue sky, and I draw a picture like this in a few seconds. Okay. All right. So now I'd like you to scan the QR code, think of a place that you want to go in your next vacation. Okay, collaborate with the AI tool to create a picture and iterate by changing the prompts, drawing until you're satisfied with it. Okay, all right. Then hopefully you draw something like this. Okay. Anybody have done a picture? Okay. So if you have done the picture, you can in the reaction say something like this. Okay. Or even if you want to turn on your camera and show your masterpiece to all of us here as well. Okay. All right, great. Because of time, I'll quickly go to the next. Okay, so debriefing. Let's do a debriefing. In what ways do you appreciate about this creation? You can use the chat room. In what ways? Okay. Let me rephrase the question. If you use your paper and pen, how much time you need to spend to draw the picture? I've done this many times. Let me say half a day or never. Okay, because I'm not a drawer. But now with the tools like this, you can have different versions like this. And if you don't like it, you can just regenerate until you're satisfied with it. Okay. So the speed of creation is much quicker than just human, right? That's quickness. The other question is, who created this creature, this creation? Many people will say AI, but some may say that, no, me. Okay. But usually when we have that type of discussion, we will then say, okay, you and AI collaborate to create that picture. Okay. The AI has very broad creativity. What do you mean by broad? It has watched all the Monet picture. It has watched all the Picasso picture. I don't think I have watched all the picture. So in terms of broad knowledge, it has all the much broader than human. Okay. But why you choose Japan? Why you choose Paris? Why you choose whatever? Is you have that desire to go. Okay. And that's more like the in-depth of creativity. That meaning that you really understand the unmet needs, the context, the situation that creation needs to fit in. That part cannot be replaced by AI. Human needs to go for the depth creativity, but now you can assist by the broad creativity by AI to make you a better artist. Okay, so there is an interesting saying, right? Pablo Picasso said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." But with the AI, we can all be excellent artists. We can collaborate. Okay, and we can crank out creation, micro-learning. Micro-learning is an art, right? It's a creation. We can now be an excellent artist to collaborate with AI to make it more speedy, to have different iteration until you think you meet the learner's need. Okay, so that way we can all learn to be a collaborator with AI as a next generation creator. Okay. All right. So some key values of AI in the L&D. That was a study just last year, survey about 200 L&D professionals. They find out these are the expected benefit of using AI in L&D. So creating learning content faster, okay? And Daniel just already did a marvelous job. This is a great tool to just-in-time, to create just-in-time learning. Improve efficiency, reduce cost, those are the top two. I myself would argue that is just the starting point. The third point is about personalized adaptive learning. I think AI have a very good promise to address the personalization. And I'll show you later on what I've been doing in a corporate training using that, okay? Facilitation, information discovery, all this. It's a very interesting report. You can just Google L&D report in AI. I think the person who did that later on supplement with the link in there as well. Okay. So I see 3 different stages of AI innovation in L&D. Okay. I think most of the people, including myself, is mostly in the level 1. So trying to achieve high efficiency when we create content using tools like ChatGPT or HeyGen or Midjourney. You can create the content much more quicker, but you essentially still go through the same workflow. You're doing the same product and things like that. Okay. I think we are very quickly going to level 2. Okay. We will have new experience that enabled by AI, the hyper-personalization, the adaptive learning, that I'll showcase some of the experiments we have been doing in Chorev, my company. And of course, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm sure many of you have also other use cases that you can share as well. Okay. But level 3, I think is how we actually put AI as one part of the learning strategy. Okay. Some companies really put AI in the middle of the business model, like Microsoft, like Pinduoduo, Temu. Okay. So they really put AI as the core strategy. And now Microsoft is the #1 market cap company in the world. I'm not sure, I'm not saying that every company, every L&D professional should go all the way to level 3, but the whole L&D market, I think, like any other market, any other business, some of the market pioneers will go to level 3 very soon. Okay. And how we can learn from them and whether we can use some of the practice, some of how they do it on the transformation to put it into our practice. I think the whole direction is moving to level 3 very soon, sooner than we expected. I was touching upon wisdom and knowledge and things like that. So let me put it into perspective. 20 years ago, when we all started to use Google, okay, Google search, so information is in our fingertips. That's why we call it the information age 20 years ago. We have flood of information, okay, but at that time, we don't know the information is true or false, it's relevant, not relevant. So we need, at that time, we still need the human to build the knowledge to discern what information is good or bad and things like that. Okay. Right now with AI, with ChatGPT, with prompts, you can actually generate any knowledge, any tables, any 3-page document, any PowerPoint, any video like this. Okay. But so that's why in the AI age, we call it the knowledge overflow age. Okay, just like 20 years ago, it's the information overflow age. Right now, we are knowledge overflow age. And human needs to develop more the wisdom to discern what is a good knowledge, what is a bad knowledge, what is relevant knowledge, what is irrelevant knowledge. Okay, so our job, we as a trainers, we as a teacher, maybe we need to spend more time to think about how we change our curriculum, how we change our way of teaching, so that to not just facilitate knowledge, because we can just use AI to do most of the job there, but to go to the higher plane, how do we impart and facilitate wisdom into our program? Okay, and of course, without the wisdom needs good knowledge. Don't get me right. Don't get me wrong. We cannot just jump to wisdom. We still need a good understanding of the knowledge, and then we actually go up the level. How do we apply the knowledge of AI generation and apply it into the future? Okay, LLM, large language model, trained only on past data. Okay, so as intelligent as it is, it only knows the past data. Okay, and wisdom is about applying the knowledge, the right knowledge into the future to shape a bit better future. And I think we as a trainer need to go to the higher plane. Okay, and what can we do about that? I think we should encourage participants to ask and reframe questions. Okay, instead of just giving an answer as quickly as possible. In Hong Kong, I think most of the other Asian education system, we emphasize in our exam, the teacher frame the questions, and the students just as quickly as possible write down the answer. Okay, that make it scale before, but right now, as what Daniel was saying, we need to maybe inspire our students and our corporate training participants. We need more the wisdom. And it's not about how to answer a question, it's to reframe the questions. And once you master that reframing the questions, asking the right questions, then you can let AI to generate different answer for you to look at. Okay, but in Asian context, most of our education system don't encourage asking questions. And we need to, in our program, how to encourage our participants to ask and reframe the questions. I think that's a key part for us as next generation curator. We need to think about that. And we also want to encourage teamwork to solve complex problems with innovations, not just individual, but working with AI and working with people. Okay, teamwork. How do we work as a team to solve that? Okay, and I think most of our education system mostly focus on individual work so far, and we need to in our program to encourage more to do that, and use AI as an augment intelligence to supplement the knowledge domain, but we can then think about, okay, is this options generated by ChatGPT fit in the context, fit in the stakeholders' emotions? That part we can augment but cannot replace. AI cannot replace you. How do we actually develop that collaboration? And how do we actually encourage neural rewiring? Okay, we need not just one time, we need sustainable, different intervention at different time, researching that our brain at least need 14 to 21 days to continue to practice, reflect, to build the neurons pathway for new skill. Okay, so how do we actually design a sustainable blended learning journey? I think that's the holy grail that we are trying to go for. Okay, all right.
Absolutely. And I know there's so much amazing content, Andrew, that you've created. And I think part of the beauty of having Gnobified it is I do encourage you to go through. Andrew has a lot of examples, a lot of videos, but I know people are dying to ask you questions. I know I have a million. So so I wanted to just open it up for a little bit of Q&A.
Okay, sure.
And if that's okay, maybe we can I'll switch over to my screen now. And we'll just open it up. So we'll give everyone a chance we're in session 4, to answer any questions that you may have. So I'm going to just kick things off. Okay, let me just share mine. Oh, it's the moment you stop sharing, I think I can share mine.
I just stopped.
Okay, host, can you allow me to share my screen, please? Yeah, so as we're preparing to do that, please think of your questions. All right, there we go. Oh, all right, thanks. Thank you, team. Okay, there we go. I love also the speed. So essentially, as Andrew was speaking, we created a new action in session 4 so that you can now post your AI image and post it and
Very good.
interact. Yep. And then I
Okay.
think some of these, and then the debrief, we could also make them into open-ended. But you can start to see that some people have already, oh my goodness, this is quite funny. And then start to do that. So question, with the knowledge, the data, this is from Wang Yuan, can AI predict an upcoming problem or challenge in the future? Can AI suggest the measures to take in advance before the problem crops up? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so at this point, okay, I'm just mainly talking about the ChatGPT 4.0 domain. Okay, the 1.0 is just so new. I haven't actually tested it enough to do it. The 4.0 or any other Claude or Gemini is training on the past data. Okay, the knowledge it gained is by statistically matching your prompt and look at the past data and just cobble up a paragraph that makes sense, that matches your prompt as much as possible. Okay, so it really just have past data. So it's a very silly question to ask, okay, should I buy NVIDIA? Will it go up? Should I buy Bitcoin? Because it only have past data, it cannot it only rely on past data. Okay, but of course with the 1.0, I'm just testing it in the past few days. It has now some level of logic and reasoning. Okay, it can use still the past data to further give you a reason to you now. In the past 2-3 days, I've been testing it. It is better than I thought in some area and worse than I thought in other areas. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the version we are allowed to use is called 0.1 preview. So the real actual production level of 0.1 or coming 0.2, based on the Q-star model and things like that, how would it evolve? I don't know. But at this point, I still believe, at least in the 1 to 3 years, you can still regard the AI as very, very good at past data. But
so
future application, we still need the human to harness it. Yeah.
Yeah. So unless you have essentially, I mean, of course, it will find analysts and experts who give their opinion for future. So it could summarize probably that, but it will not do it on its own, right?
In some cases, if you ask it to do some reasoning and some sort of prediction, it will do it. But whether it is really makes sense, you still need the human to discern it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good. Another question is, as you talk about all of these different AI tools, how did you build the capabilities? Because I think many people here are open to trying. And if you look at your poll, many people are interested, but not. So how much time and effort did you invest yourself and your team to develop these skills?
It's just a continuous learning. The AI tools is just, the advancement is progressing. I've been in the high-tech industry for 30 years. I've never seen a technology that progressed so quickly. Okay, and we I think if we have to catch up every day, you can spend 3 or 4 hours every day to read, and you're still not able to consume everything. I think right now is the way I encourage people to learn is really think about your use cases. Okay, most of the people here are trainers. Okay, so think about in training, we need to produce videos, we need to produce curriculum and things like that. Focusing on those areas and always look for YouTuber or KOL that are trying different tools and do a review. this is I subscribe to a few good KOL and some really trainers or perspective. So what they share, I watch the video, the YouTube every week, and absorb and try it out ourselves. So I think that's the best way to learn at this point.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. It's really different kind of sources, right? It's learning from experts, it's experimentation, researching, and it does in some ways require time and an intentional effort to do it, right? So I think that's really important. And you know, we will talk about in connection points right after this about an opportunity to learn in a structured way about micro learning and AI. So hold for that. In about 15-20 minutes, we'll talk about that as well. So we'll give you an opportunity to get access to resources. So I'm curious, like, you know, as you think about that in the context of Gnowbe, and how do you, like, what as a practitioner, how have you embedded the tools, I guess, with Gnowbe as you're designing and delivering your programs for your clients?
The way we use it because we are doing corporate training, most of our program will be delivered in a blended learning way. So we have been actually integrating micro-learning Gnowbe into pre-classroom training and post-classroom training, okay? So instead of them doing the case studies, read about all the skills before, because in the classroom, we do flip learning, really practice, okay, but they rely on understanding some fundamental knowledge. So before we mainly rely on Gnowbe, a good, very, very good platform for micro-learning. Right now, we also starting to complement it with a chatbot. For example, in exact education, a lot of times it's case studies, right? So instead of asking the executive to read a 30-page case studies, which they never do, okay, we give them a chatbot. We rack a case study, building a chatbot, and let them to chat with the chatbot. So we give them some sample prompts. So give me a summary. If I'm the CTO of this company, what was the mistake that I do? So it can chat with that case before they go into the flip learning. Okay. And after the flip learning, we also encourage them before, mainly using the Gnowbe to do like 10 minutes a day to continue to sustain the learning. But we also now rack a Andrew coach. I rack the content of the flip learning and make it so that the chatbot will only answer the content that I went through. So they can then, let's say negotiation that we went through, so they can then practice doing the chatbot, doing role play, asking, okay, I remember Andrew talked about 5 steps to prepare negotiation, but I forget the first step. What is it? I can chat with the chatbot before they go to negotiation. So we have done that so as a supplement for the Gnowbe as well.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's really the integration of multiple tools and recognizing it's not just one piece, you know. And I think I think Salim is asking a question of some recommended sites, you know, that use advanced tools by YouTubers. Maybe we can also just post into the group board so everyone has actually access to all of those. So if you have any recommendations, please share that to the group board, and then that would be wonderful.
A very good tool that I just shared in the chatbot is called futuretools.io. So it actually collects all the latest AI tools into one site, and they categorize into video production, music, and things like that. So you can just search for the latest tools. And the YouTuber is called Matt Wolf, and he actually do regular podcasts examining different tools. So it's a very good website and a good YouTube channel.
Okay, so we'll post that here. Maybe the team can post that here so you can go to the group board and get access to it, because then everyone who joins this will be able to get access to that later, because we have 160 people who are in this community. So hopefully we can share those resources. Of course, please join me, everyone, in thanking Andrew. This was such a fun, I feel like his content is so rich. We can spend maybe another, I think, a few day workshop. I know that he condensed really in-person workshops like into a kind of a 30-minute chunk, bite-sized, for us to get like a taster. I would call this a taster to, I think, what Andrew and Daniel were talking about. So let's take a minute to just reflect, because again, and there's a lot of other activities. So we have more things here, right? So there's videos that Andrew has shared, and I would strongly recommend you go through his videos. I know I definitely plan to do so. And then also look at some of the case studies that he shared, because it's just very practical, and then almost getting inspired about what's possible will definitely help me. So we're just going to go to the very, very last piece here, which is a reflection. So please take a moment to just reflect on what is one takeaway, one learning, one challenge, one question that you still have remaining as we think about this. And we're going to take this moment before we jump into the final wrap-up session and connection points in a minute here. So I'll just give everyone 60 seconds just to share your reflections. Okay, please all join me in giving a huge round of applause and an appreciation for Andrew. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is called AI, in a whirlwind. And so we're going to jump right into the wrap up of Create 24 Asia version in session 5.